Shadow the Hedgehog, the one and only ultimate life form. Thanks to Amy, I was able to remember Maria's wish. When I finally realized it, the ultimate life prototype tried to stop me. I'll take care of this, Sonic. You go try to stop the power of the Chaos Emeralds.
We're at the final part of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Now, it is Shadow versus the prototype of the ultimate life, the Biolizard.
I'm going to eat you, millennial.
It's like seriously, how could they not add finish the word life form in the title? I mean, come on.
I don't give a shit. I just want to question why the fuck are we even bothering with this?
Because the Biolizard is impeding our progress and stopping.
He keeps disliking all of my posts.
Oh, all right. So basically, the main gist with this boss fight with the Biolizard is that you need to get into at least I believe 5 hits at his core. You know, his "don't hit me" spot on the top of his back.
The giant fuck me light.
Pretty
Please
much.
don't hit me there. It hurts.
All right, now the first few. Okay, so the first hit, you know, he lets you have it easy, but then starting from the second hit, just like what he showed up earlier, he spews out these dark energy spheres or whatever. Now when he first does this, these projectiles move at a really slow rate. So when you're trying to avoid these attacks, I highly recommend you don't get too. Okay, that was bullshit right there. I recommend you do not stay. Yeah, I recommend you stay at a relatively close distance to the Biolizard, because if you stay far away when he shoots those projectiles the first time around, they can actually hit you, like stupidly easily.
Just that part of you just hitting his neck is like, damn it, Biolizard! I told you to turn off your hitbox.
But yeah, it's like after the second hit. And after the second time he starts doing this or whatnot, well, actually no, after the first time he does this, then he shoots other projectiles much faster. In that case, I recommend staying at a much farther distance, because seeing as how they come in at a much faster rate, that means if you keep your distance, starting at the second time he shoots out those projectiles, it's pretty much giving you more, at least enough time to either somersault under the projectiles he shoots from above, or jump over the projectiles he shoots down below. And I believe after you get in once he gets in a third hit, that's when he shoots those little bacteria bubbles, as I like to call them, which surround the Biolizard. Which is basically him just saying, hey, I hear you're trying to hit my fuck me light. Here, let me make things a lot easier for you, for the most part. And I'll have you homing attack on these little bacteria bubbles up to my weak spot.
Please, Shadow. Please end my life. I am an abomination.
What even am I? And then for the final hit, this
is the part that gets obnoxious.
Yeah, it can. You need to while you're floating in midair, you need to avoid all the bacteria bubbles that are floating in the same direction you are. And yeah, you do that, you're able to get in on the final hit, and there you go.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
What's really stupid about that final segment with the Biolizard, I believe, seeing as how you're suspended in midair, and I believe there's seeing as how these bubbles shoot at you at a relatively fast rate, seeing as how there's no way for you to regain any rings, yeah, if you're unlucky enough, you could potentially die. And again, seeing as how there are no checkpoints, you got to start at the very beginning of that fight.
You know, the Master Emerald is really tiny in this game.
It varies in size.
Yeah, it keeps changing size. I know some fans have argued because it's the Master Emerald, and with Knuckles being the Guardian, somehow he can manipulate the shape. I just think it's just the developers forgot.
Yeah, I think that's just bullshit convenience.
Yeah, like I just think the developers literally forgot.
Yeah.
Ah, my
Araki
head,
forgot.
my body. Ah. Like, no, seriously, if you pause while the colony is shaking for the first time and we see Shadow like fall down for a little bit, his head is actually morphed into his body to
Yes.
kind of give the illusion that okay, his body is bending forwards, but no, his model is actually really fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, with every ending of a Sonic game comes the
Knuckles' face. It's like, oh, are we doing the thing?
Yep, they're doing a thing. They're about to turn super with the power of the 7 Chaos.
And this is to go even further beyond.
If you want to get into super,
As they're
shake your
jerking it.
fist and say, why I oughta.
It's like, yeah, like everyone and their mother is like, oh yeah, they were jerking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
you're
Man,
it's kind of hard not to make that comparison.
Man,
That's why I did not make the obvious joke.
And now, ladies and gentlemen of Earth, I present to you the Space Colony Butt Plug!
The final hazard, the prototype of the ultimate life. All right.
This is just it's not the same. It's no chaos.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
no-
first off, Chaos didn't need a butt plug.
So yes, it's like Sonic and Shadow takes on like either side of the Biolizard. And for some reason, I don't know why, the Biolizard forms these swelling spots on his body. Basically, those are the hints that, okay, ram into those swelling spots to do some damage. So do this enough times until you take him out. But the more times you lay hits on him, the more difficult it becomes for either Sonic or Shadow to lay a hit on his swelling spots. Because not only his lasers become more difficult to avoid, and eventually he forms a massive barrier of bacteria bubbles that also fire at you. So I mean, for the most part, it's like, okay, luck would be on your side, and you'll be able to lay a hit on the Biolizard like every single time you switch between Sonic and Shadow, no problem. But there are times where they can give you a little bit of trouble. But I mean, yeah, this fight is nowhere, for the most part, this fight is nowhere near as long as the fight with Chaos.
Look like pimples. Puberty's a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it may not be as long, but it's just not nearly as fulfilling.
I will get past you, bacteria field.
I mean, it's like, for me, this is the most satisfying thing. Like, yeah, for the most part, it's like, this boss fight can bring its fair share of challenge and whatnot, but the freaking theme for SA2 Battle also really sold it for me, too. It's like, playing this for the first time after spending so many days trying to beat the canon's core and finally beat the last story. This was like one of the most satisfying moments for me, and like throughout my times of playing a Sonic game.
No, what'd be even funnier is if the final Big the Cat cameo is that it fell out of the Biolizard's mouth.
Oh god.
Yay, I'm free!
That's like, I was like half expecting Big the Cat to be like fishing off of his head or something.
Well, Froggy's not in here.
Yay, Froggy, I'm fishing him out.
Now, Shadow!
Don't tell me what to do.
Control! Maria, this is what you wanted, right? This is my promise I made to you.
Well,
Ah, yes.
you have it.
It's like the noble sacrifice that should have remained.
Yep.
Yay, we can get married! And we can praise Allah!
The entire planet was saved, but at the cost of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Or so we
Again-
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or so we thought.
I'm fine though. Thank you, plot armor.
It's like no, I guess it's like unironically. I can maybe Sonic had more rings than Shadow for some reason. I don't know.
Well, he has that ring.
Well, that was
Yeah.
supposed to be like one of the rings that Shadow wore. I think
Yeah,
the canon.
the wrist
I
ring.
think the canon explanation is the fact that when they pretty much when they used the chaos control energy to warp the Ark, it pretty much wiped out Shadow at that point. Like he literally used up all of his power to help contribute to all that. Why Sonic got out okay? Plot armor. But,
because we need more games.
yeah, because he's the hero, so of course he does. But I believe that is supposed to be the canon explanation. And we were led to believe that he just plummets, and burns up through Earth's atmosphere, sacrificing himself. Which would have been, which is a pretty powerful ending for this character. And but of course, because Shadow got so goddamn popular, Sega's like, we gotta capitalize on that shit. So come Sonic Heroes. Oh wait, Shadow's alive! Except wait, is he a robot? Is he a clone? I don't know. Let's waste a couple of games before we get that answer. And our answer is, he's alien.
You say so.
Right, but no.
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying about like the canon explanation of why Shadow was gone after this fight. Yeah, actually, I think this correlates back to like the Japanese dub of Sonic X, where they reenact the entirety of the last story. Whereas like it does show that Shadow does use up his 2 power rings, which is basically the last remaining portion of his power. And because of that, like after Sonic and Shadow used Chaos Control, then yeah, that was pretty much it. Shadow was done.
Right, and then it's like you find out in Shadow the Hedgehog that ultimately, like, Eggman was the one that found Shadow. And he was the one that put him in that little pod to basically recover, which is the pod that Rouge found at the beginning of Sonic Heroes.
Which you wouldn't know if you spend like far too long in the final battle with Super Shadow and Black Doom. Is at that point when Eggman is just like, Shadow, I lied! You are not an android, Shadow! I did find you after defeating the Biolizard, and I put you in that pod! It's like, oh.
Yeah, by the way, this is how we're gonna write off how you're alive. Yeah, it's like in Advent Children. How do we explain Rufus Shinra living after getting, completely butt-fucked by Diamond Weapon? He tries to explain how he survived. Cloud interrupts him, basically going, why am I here? Why'd you call me? I'm leaving. It's like, oh, fuck off with that shit.
Oh, man. There was also like some unused dialogue within that ending cutscene, especially with the dialogue exchange that Dr. Eggman and Tails give. But there's also something that they also like established it within like the Japanese dub of like that one Sonic X episode, where it's like Dr. Eggman says like, oh, did he really mean to destroy us? I don't know, but I do know is we all did it together. And instead of Dr. Eggman saying, oh, you're right. Yeah, I think after that, Eggman was supposed to say, yeah, this may be a truce, but after this, I'm going back to my evil ways, and you won't be so lucky next time.
Yeah, because that's typical Eggman.
Well, yeah, because it's like I guess Sonic Team didn't want to ruin like a heartwarming moment after that victory of sorts. Even though it was kind of sad that Shadow died, before we realized that Sonic Heroes was gonna back. So, Sonic Team didn't want to ruin that. But even so, I mean, it's like, no, it is also, in Dr. Eggman fashion.
Am I really going to defile this grave for money? Of course I am!
So, yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright, rest easy, heroes. Go outside. You're done.
Oh, fine, I'll go outside. Jeez.
Oh man, just like Slide 2. Oh man, okay, well, that will pretty much do it for the entirety of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Alright, putting aside, like, the issues with the story, and at times some issues with the gameplay, I still stand by what I said. And I still consider Sonic Adventure 2 Battle to be my most favorite Sonic game of all time. I've had the most fun with this game. I've had the most memories with this game. To me, it's like the one Sonic game that has the most replayability on it. It's like, say what you will about like the story, the gameplay, or whatever. It's like, to me, this Sonic game to me has aged so well. Like surprisingly, even after all the times that this game has been ported from from the Dreamcast to the GameCube, and then from there to like the next gen of consoles with the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, PC, all that good stuff. To this day, I still think it holds up. But that's just me, though. Like, what did you guys have to say about this game?
I still say that, I do agree, where it's like, yeah, annoying. Some of the levels are annoying. And yeah, some of the plot elements clearly more so towards the end. The first half, we really didn't have issues with the story. But as soon as you got into the Space Colony Ark stuff, that's where it's like, they started bringing in a lot of the elements that, I criticized. But even despite that, I will say, like, compare this to Sonic Adventure 1. I still will maintain that I think Sonic Adventure 2 holds up better than Sonic Adventure 1. Because Sonic Adventure 1, it was very much, it was the first of the modern Sonic games. So there's, at that point, it just was like, okay, let's just kind of like, throw whatever to the wall, see what sticks. It was very much like a prototype. And then they took what was successful from that and tried to refine it and make it a little bit better in this one. So it's like, I think the story holds up better. I do think that, even though the gameplay doesn't have nearly as much of the variety, it does hold up a lot better. Granted, Ryan, for me, I'll say Adventure 2 is probably in my top 5 for Sonic games, but it's like, as far as like other games I probably like more than that, I'd probably say, Sonic 2, I really like Sonic Colors, maybe Sonic Generations. It's like, there's still a couple of Sonic games out there that I'd say, ultimately I did enjoy more than Adventure 2, but Adventure 2 is definitely in the top 5.
Oh yeah, no, it's understandable. It's like, I may say like Sonic Adventure 2 is like my personal favorite game in the Sonic franchise of all time, but no, like as we've established throughout the entirety of this playthrough, I can clearly see why a lot of people would think otherwise.
Right. Yeah, but I'd still say, I'd still say it's pretty high up there. It makes sense why a lot of people, even to this day, still have very fond memories of it. Issues and everything, flaws and all, people still love it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's like, Brian, what are your overall thoughts on this game?
There is no Brian, only Big.
Brian.
But I don't know. I feel along the same lines as Danny for the most part, because yeah, I don't consider Adventure 2 my favorite. I do consider a good game. It's just one of those games where it's like you do end up finding more issues with it the more you end up looking into it. But like at the end of the day, a lot of the instances where it's like either it is finding some issues with it, or even just taking the piss out of like some of the like goofier moments, it's still an enjoyable game to go through. Like, it's one that I'm not going to definitely be like, I never touched this thing in a million years, but no, I certainly would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that there's probably several other Sonic games that I'd play beforehand if you were to give me the choice.
Well, that's like people are, and that's like, we have had years of rumors and shit of a possible Adventure 3 coming out or something, and people are still holding out hope for an Adventure 3.
And for good reason, because of just how much of an impact both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 have made in the Sonic franchise. But sadly, it's like, I mean, as much as I want to be one of those people that would still really want an Adventure 3 or whatever, sadly at this point in time, I don't think that's going to happen. I think ever since like Shadow was brought back in Sonic Heroes, I think the possibility of a Sonic Adventure 3 was just diminished.
Well, I mean, we're just now at that point now where there's so many other Sonic titles that have come since then that it's just like, you know, okay, where are you gonna go with this? Like, would they go back to the Adventure 2 formula where it's like, okay, we have some speed-based characters like Sonic levels, we'll have the shooting levels, we'll have treasure hunting levels, like, you know, are they gonna go back to that classic formula? Which I would definitely not mind seeing again. Or are you going to try and do unique shit like you've been doing in every other title that has been very hit or miss lately?
You know,
so it's like, Sega, what would your intentions be on that one?
That's the exact same thing I ask myself whenever someone brings up the possibility of them doing a full-blown remake of Sonic Adventure 1. That's what I'm worried about the most. Because considering on just how long Sonic Team has been holding on to this one particular formula of Sonic gameplay, you know, boost to win, and now I guess apparently their rendition of a classic Sonic gameplay or whatever the hell, you know, I'm kind of worried that they would pretty much give this supposed Sonic Adventure remake the exact same treatment if given the chance, and, you know, not do what you're supposed to do in a remake, and basically just keep every core aspect of the original game intact, and but just give it like a nice coat of paint or something like that, you know, just at the very least, just make it feel like you're playing the original, but at the same time playing a brand new game, because that's the point of a remake. But if Sonic Team and Sega were to do a remake of Sonic Adventure 1, or SA2 for that matter, or give it a chance, I don't know. I kind of get the feeling they would pretty much do the exact opposite and, you know, not stay true to the original, like, core concept of, like, the gameplay from the original games.
Right.
I don't know. Just call it a hunch.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell, you know, with Sega nowadays. Because, I mean, like, for one thing, we're not even getting... Like, they used to pump out Sonic games, you know, pretty frequently. They've really slowed down on it a lot, which could be a good thing. Because for all we know, you know, there is a Sonic game that's in the works that, you know, they're trying to maybe take their time with, which would be, you know, good. You know, because nowadays, like, if there's any, like, Sonic updates, it's mostly been Sonic Mania. You know, and it's like, you know, I totally understand why, but it's like, yeah, it's like ever since like Sonic Forces, it's like the modern Sonic games have kind of gone silent. It's been a couple of years. So that's like, okay, what are you doing, Sega? So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I definitely want to be hopeful, but again, it's like, just if you look at Sega's track record, like, even when Sonic was, you know, going back uphill, like, not only just for fans, but critics too. Like, look at how like Colors and Sonic Generations were getting very well received. But it's like, okay, you know, finally, after a long time, fans and critics are on the same page that, you know, all right, we love this, we want to see more of this. And they go back to being a little too experimental. And it's just like, oh, it's like, you had the winning formula. Why are you fucking it up?
Yeah, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, it's like, all I know is, like, the last time I heard anything about Sonic Team and Sega making another Sonic game is something, like, I guess they plan on working on a title for, Sonic's 30th. But that's just about it.
Which would make sense. And again, that's like I said, like, I've heard rumors of, like, you know, oh, a trademark has been filed for a Sonic Adventure 3. It's like, you know, I mean, I've heard, again, it's just rumors at this point. Because it's like, we have not seen anything come out of it since. So that's where it's like, that's really all I'm just going to take it as, is rumors, you know. If they decide to come out with one, Okay, I'd be willing to give it a shot, provided you stick with the actual adventure formula and not just do whatever the hell you want and just throw adventure into the title just, for marketing hype. It's like if that's what you're gonna do, like stick with the adventure style formula, then it's like, okay, count me freaking interested. And that would be one hell of a way to, bring about the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, really.
It'd be one hell of a way to do it. But, like I said, I don't really know. And it's like, I think it's because Sega's been pretty quiet about Sonic games lately. Like, say for just doing some updates on Sonic Mania, which I can certainly understand because, everybody freaking loves Sonic Mania. So it's like, I certainly understand why you're doing the constant updates. But as far as, like, anything outside of that, yes, Sega's been very quiet lately. So it's like, and yeah, it's where it's like, I'm not sure whether to take that as a good thing or a bad thing. I want to take that as a very good thing. Like, maybe, I'm sure they're working on something, and I'm just hoping that, okay, they're really taking their time with it, and they're really trying to, like, really nail this one down so it can be fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man, I certainly... If Sonic Team and Sega were given the opportunity, or whatnot.
Or you can just give us the Mario Sonic crossover that we've been begging for Lord knows how long.
And before you ask, no, we are not referring to Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Aww, but I wanted that crossover. No, you didn't.
Yeah, that crossover is long outstayed its fucking welcome. It's like, so many of us have been wanting a platformer crossover. And it's like, that would be so much fun. So I was like, come on, do it.
It's like, seriously, it's like, the closest thing we've ever had to, like, an actual crossover between Mario and Sonic was, one, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and when Sakurai made the announcement that Sonic was coming to Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And then that took the internet by storm. But that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's like, oh, you can make a crossover between Mario and the freaking Rabbids, but for some reason you can't make a crossover between Mario and Sonic? I mean, it's like, come on, guy.
Seriously. It's like Nintendo made the Rabbids successful. Come on!
Just don't do what Spyro and Crash did and make it good.
Oh my god. But yes. Sonic Adventure 2, whether it be, the original on the Dreamcast, or in this case, the more recent port, more so basing it off of the Nintendo GameCube port, and all that stuff. Like I said before, I still think it's a fantastic Sonic game. Still holds up to this very day. Has not aged a bit after all these years of playing this. For the most part, levels are great. Though, again, we cannot say for a selected couple, for the most part, like, a lot of these levels are like a hit or a miss, but nonetheless, they are still memorable in their own ways, which I can appreciate. Gameplay for the most part, pretty solid. This is why Danny and I would love a Sonic game, whether it be new or a remake, that would keep the Sonic Adventure gameplay intact, pretty much. Because that was another reason why, playing through that game is so much fun. It's like, yeah, you could probably experience some glitches every now and again, but the gameplay overall, it just felt so satisfying to take advantage of. Story, while it has its moments, still one of the more memorable stories up there, alongside the older, some of the older titles like Adventure 1, maybe even some of the other classic games, maybe. It's still up there with the best of the best Sonic stories out there. Though in this case, it wouldn't be the best one, but you know what I mean. It's a story that holds up very well. Music, much like a lot of other Sonic games, music is fantastic. Amazing soundtrack, especially with Live and Learn. Still go back to listen to that song because it's so great. Voice acting, while it was unfortunately drowned out a lot by the booming music or sound effects or whatever, voice acting was still pretty top notch for an adventure game or whatnot. And I didn't even bother saying this with Dean Bristow with Dr. Eggman. Honestly, I think Dean Bristow's performance as Dr. Eggman, may he rest in peace, was probably one of the better performances throughout his time voicing Eggman. Definitely much better than voicing him in Sonic Adventure 1. And I don't get that same vibe with Sonic Heroes. I'm not saying his performance as Sonic Heroes was terrible, but I don't know. I enjoyed his voice performance much better, you know, in this game. And yeah, it's like, again, the voice cast for Sonic Adventure 2 was just, yeah, again, for a game that came out like in the Dreamcast era and then eventually within the next gen of consoles, it's still a very well done cast. And as an aspiring voice actor to this day, I still appreciate that. Oh, but yes. All right, when we will tackle the next game, Sonic Heroes, or any other Sonic game for that matter, it's hard to say, but I'm hoping I can get around to one particular Sonic game much sooner than expected for reasons. But in the meantime, though, I think it's time that I move on to my next playthrough that I have in store for the channel. If you guys remember that little skit that I did during part 33 of Sly 2 Band of Thieves, you may already know where this is going. But for those who don't remember, or for those of you who are new, there is a reason why that I was really hesitant on making any JoJo references. And the next game is pretty much going to explain why. So, see you guys then!